I did say I want to start off with some NBA stuff. In the middle of March Madness, it is very hard for me to be in tune all the way with my NBA roots, right? You know, the single game elimination, the brackets, the prospects. This is one of those draft classes where we had a lot of our projected first round talent actually participate in the tournament, which makes it even better. We do have some NBA to talk about. We're about a week and a half, 2 weeks away from the playoffs. Things are getting extremely tight. I am fascinated with everything that's going on from that 5 to 10 part of the Eastern Conference. And what I mean by that is about a week or two ago, it felt like the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, the Atlanta Hawks were all even the Hornets up until that point were all scorching, right? And they were all making this significant climb back into the playoff picture and trying to solidify themselves and gain some separation to be able to avoid the play-in. Well, we get to this point of the schedule, and already, like that, at the snap of a finger, the Orlando Magic have lost 5 in a row. The Miami Heat have lost 5 in a row. And we now have a 5-team margin at the bottom half of the Eastern Conference playoff picture that is all separated by a game or half a game. And so this final stretch will be must-see TV in NBA. And I'm a guy that, again, last week I went on Numbers on the Board and was asking my co-hosts, how are they staying in tune with the season? Because one of the nights that we tune into the games, every single game was a double-digit deficit across the board. This team was down 18. This team was down 12. That's an 11-point game over here, 15-point game over there. And it made me be like, man, we might have to consider actually shortening the season. But now we got the close competitive seeding of everything. The Lakers are scorching out west, and they're trying to establish themselves as the third best team to make sure that they have the home court advantage. Who's going to be that home court advantage team out east? The Raptors, as the 5th seed, are only a game and a half above the rest of the competition in that bottom half. So we've got a final stretch of NBA that I'm gearing up for, and I think will be an exciting last 10 to 11 games. We've also got a bit of news, so to speak, around the NBA. Before we started here, there was a report from Chris Mannix that says the Houston Rockets are probably going to make a push, or are believed to preparing themselves to make a push for Giannis Antetokounmpo in the offseason, which is a very interesting conversation for me. I thought the Houston Rockets came into the season as one of those teams we had some high expectations for, right? Having the 2nd seed last year, you bring in a Kevin Durant, all-time scorer, all-time player. Congrats to him on passing Michael Jordan. And, the expectations, they rose, and they lost Fred VanVleet before the start of the season, which kind of changed some of that. But they have been a little bit disappointed. They have now had some of the worst losses in all of NBA, in my opinion, with a loss to the Bulls. A couple weeks ago, they had an overtime loss to a Warriors team that barely suited up anybody. And they just haven't had that hit or that feel that a lot of us projected. And see the report like this confirms what I thought. I think about a month or so ago, I came on here, or Numbers on the Board, and basically pretty much said, hey, we were so committed to this Houston Rockets core, and we fell in love with them, and we felt like this was going to be it. This year kind of makes me change it. And a report like this I'm buying into, because I can see the Rockets may have to make a pivot. They may have to break up this core and make another move. And people are going to run with that. They're going to have their opinions on Kevin Durant. They're going to have their opinions on Ime. We're going to start to see some conversations depending on how the playoff goes for them. But a report like this, I think I'm buying into. Now, the other report that came out, that this may be the last year of LeBron James, or this will be the last year of LeBron in LA, which came from Sam Amick, it's hard for me to get behind that one. We haven't seen what the Lakers are going to do in the playoffs. They're playing some of the best basketball we've seen of the Luka and LeBron era. And so to see all of this come to play, it's hard to imagine that the Lakers or LeBron have made a dead set decision on what the future will look like in their relationship. I think the playoffs and what they do will be a big indicator for that.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.